Ahoy hoy, I am Planarwalk, and welcome to Rush of Stupid. Today on the panel we have FTFE.
What's up, motherfuckers?
And there we go. I'll bring up his window for a second, even though...
Brainy's disappeared.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've also got Brainy... We've got an empty chair on the panel as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Today...
There's normally a Brainy Beaver there.
Normally. I do need to make sure that people can actually hear us, hopefully, because it's saying that the audio stream has a bitrate of 0, although that could be...
Sometimes does that.
Yeah. And let's switch back over to here. But, one of the... Oh, yeah. Obviously, I'm going to just shill out my memberships because Hugh Jarsz isn't here to shill my memberships for me. You can join members if you press the button next to the subscribe button. It's always good. And if you haven't pressed the subscribe button, then I don't know what you're doing here. Like, you should have already done that. You should be doing that, you know. And clicking the bell notifications. All that good stuff. Anyway. Yeah, we're going to actually... So, this stream, we're going to start with a bit of a segment here. So, I'm glad that we've got some people here to help us out, or to talk to.
Yeah, you're struggling to talk right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? Wait, you have any aneurysm? Do better than this normally.
Normally. Alright, so here we've got this thing that people are saying that Jacinda Ardern said that there's no jab, no policy for private companies, right? Now, there's a bit of a problem, and we're going to watch this, and I want people to say what they think about this, because I think that it's very clear what this actually means. Alright, so we'll start by having a listen. It's only a minute.
Of course, my expectation is that all our frontline border workers, for their own health and safety, are vaccinated. We gave a set amount of time for that to happen, for those who wanted to work through information to have time to be vaccinated. But as I've said, from Monday we start beginning the process of those who have not being moved into other roles. So the difference in numbers will be those who are working at ports, airports, versus those working at MIQs. The vast majority have been vaccinated. Some will be government agencies, some, however, as in this case, will be someone who's working for a private company. In those cases, the private company is obliged to make sure that individuals have been vaccinated. From next week, we start working through the individual data to ensure that those who we expect to be vaccinated have been. If they're not, they're moved on.
So, alright, so did everyone hear what she said? Like, very clearly hear what she said? Because I did.
That everyone's going to be vaccinated.
I mean, you Kiwis talk with like a parrot in your mouth, in your throat or something, but...
So
no, she was saying that. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure where I might have missed the part of where specific we're talking about. Were we talking about nurses or things like that? But they're talking about people that have not been vaccinated being moved out of certain roles.
Yes. So the way that it seems to be, the way that some people are saying this is it's requiring COVID-19 vaccination in order to work, right? That is not what she is saying. It's to work at certain roles, you're required to be vaccinated. And that's understandable. If you're working on the front line, if you're working at a place where you're likely to catch COVID, then yeah, I think it's understandable that you're required to be vaccinated. And if you decide, okay, I'm not going to get vaccinated, then they'll just move you into another role. I'm sure that there are cases where... you know, if you're not wearing a certain thing, like if you work somewhere, you're required to wear certain clothing. If you decide to turn up to your work not in uniform, like if you're a checkout chick or whatnot, then they're probably gonna say, no, you've got to come back in uniform, you know?
Basically, like if you were Nurthen Thurmpson and you show up in anything but a duck suit, you've got to go home, get dressed again, come back.
Yeah, exactly. And they say that it's a clear violation of the Nuremberg Code.
What?
Yeah, it says... One person says Nuremberg Code is for medical experiments.
Can you play a clip of Rob Schneider talking about the Nuremberg Code?
I don't know it.
That exists. Yeah, Rob Schneider. You know who Rob Schneider is.
Oh
right?
yeah, I know who Rob Schneider is.
There's the clip of him arguing with somebody about the Nuremberg laws or whatever, which he's misquoting as well. And then there's also a tweet out there where some senator or some like governor or whatever tweets like, "Let's face it, that's an hour and a half that I'll never get back in my life of my life spent arguing with Deuce Bigelow about vaccinations," or something like that. It's awesome. Yeah, he's an advocate. He's an advocate for like people not having to vaccinate and stuff.
So he's stupid.
Yeah, well, did you think any otherwise, I guess? No offense to... Well, or offense, I don't really care. But you know what I mean. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, yeah. Rob Schneider, you know.
Yeah. And so this person responded to someone saying that the Nuremberg Code is for medical experiments by saying, the vaccines ain't experimental. I think they mean are experimental. And those taking
the vaccines ain't experimental what? What experimental did they eat?
I have no idea. And those taking it are part of that experiment, which is against the Nuremberg Code. Haven't these been tested already?
You would think so.
I'm backwards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that... And even if, let's say they are experimental, how are you going to show that they're effective in humans without experimentation?
Magic, I guess.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I suppose animal testing...
I'm not yawning it. That's not at the topic. That's at the fact that I am exhausted. I'm sorry. Didn't want that to seem like, oh, planner walks are fucking boring.
Don't worry, I'll just cut it out of the video that I'm putting on my channel. This is going to be an actual video, so...
oh, my apologies. I didn't know you were recording a video right now.
Oh, no, I am recording...
No, it's a stream.
It's a stream and a video right now.
Ah, okay. Cut all the beaver out. Everybody loves to cut beaver out. You got it.
So...
Keep going, sorry.
The response to this was deleted. So, one person says, wow, what a stupid person.
You've always got to cut out shitty responses. They can go away in an instant.
So this person says, wow, what a stupid person. It is my body and... it is my choice and no one will take that away from me without one hell of a fight. And someone basically said, called this person Karen. Right? And they said...
They're pretty close to true.
They said, not sure who you are talking to. My name is not Karen. Who would name a male Karen anyway? LOL. It's like...
Oh my god, they don't even understand Karen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like... So yeah, Karen's mad. Karens are mad that they're getting called Karen. And...
Well, stop being Karen then.
Yeah. And lastly, there is this person who says... she acts like there is no natural immunity, weirdo. So, technically, there is some natural immunity to COVID-19, and that's when you get infected with COVID-19, you'll become somewhat immune to it, although it is recommended that you still get vaccinated although I think studies have shown that you only need one vaccination if you've been infected, right?
I think if you've been infected, it is. I mean, is it not as good as a vaccination essentially at that point? But they don't even recommend you get the vaccination within a certain amount of time of having been infected.
Yeah.
So it's not like you never need the vaccination. It's just that what people haven't quite gotten into their heads yet is we're going to be needing to be getting booster shots every year for this bitch.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Yeah, just like the flu, where it mutates and stuff. You know?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah,
it's something that... Firstly, I'd much rather get vaccinated than have to deal with COVID-19, right? I'd much rather... Yeah. And secondly, like, the effects of getting COVID-19 seem like they can be absolutely horrible, like long-lasting COVID effects. Screw that. You know,
it's not worth risking it.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk getting COVID-19, which, I mean, there is a small chance of death, and there is a much smaller chance of dying from any vaccine, right?
I love all these people that are also... Well, I love all these people that are like, oh, you know, the odds are so low. It's like, all right, but here's the thing. So you've got a ride in front of you. And if you don't get on the ride, which is essentially like getting a vaccination or doing your best to avoid it, let's say, then the odds of dying are on that ride are nothing because I didn't fucking get on that ride. But now, but you decide to get on the ride. So getting on the ride is going out, not taking precautions, and or let's say not getting the vaccine in the long run. So now you go out and ride that ride, and the guy as you go to get on it goes, okay, so listen, you're about 35 years old, maybe 38, you know, like, so, you know, he says, listen, you got like a 1 in like 20,000 chance of riding, but you know, there's been about 20,000 people that rode this ride today. So far, nobody's died. So, I mean, statistically, somebody's got to. Get on, big boy. You know, like, the thing is, a lot of people would suddenly think, well, I mean, fuck, I don't, you know, like, any odds of dying is is worse than no odds of dying. It's like, yeah, well, we get that, but you just chose to, like, roll the die. It's a shitty analogy, but you get what I'm saying. Is it's just weird how they have this, like, idea of, like, oh, you know, the odds are so low. It's like, well, you know, when I wake up in the morning, I try to minimize the odds anywhere I can that I'm going to die. Like, it's just usually what I do.
Like,
just a standard way of life, right?
Yeah,
it's usually just how I kind of run myself. Like, you know, down to things like, you know, maybe I won't have 3 burgers in 3 days because, you know, like, heart attacks happen, you know, and they can happen to young people too. So they don't typically happen to young people as much, but hey, listen, if I have less hamburger, then I increase the odds that it's, that, you know, well, who really knows with genetics and shit, but you know what I'm saying. It's just, why do nothing? Let's try something. That's my thing.
Yeah. Basically, getting a vaccine is lowering the odds that you're going to die. It's really that simple.
It's lowering the odds you're going to hurt somebody else, too. Well, although, once you get a vaccine, the big myth comes where people seem to think that getting a vaccine, like, makes you immune to it, whereas that is almost rarely ever been the case. There's been the odd vaccine that seemed to work out that way. Just because I guess the body can react fast enough, but in almost every other case, what happens is you very much become infected, but your body is able to react in a manner that is fast enough to basically either severely scale down the sickness that you encounter, or get it to a point where you don't really notice that you got sick because on a cellular level it won the war faster than it even happened.
Yeah.
But you got sick. As soon as that first cell gets in there, you're sick, technically, right? Because it gets in the cell, it reproduces, and off it goes.
Yeah, technically. But yeah, basically, the thing that I'm getting to is that you should get vaccinated. Whether you're a frontline worker or not, like, even though I'm not a frontline worker, as soon as it becomes available for me, and I think that's in June, July, I'm going to be able to get vaccinated, I'm going to get vaccinated because, you know, it's better for me to get vaccinated in case there is an outbreak in New Zealand at some time. I want to, you know, not have I want to have a low chance of actually getting sick from this, you know, and so, you know, or if I want to go overseas, you know, if I want to go to a place like America, let's say, then yeah, I definitely want to be vaccinated for going to that place. So that's the moral of the story here. And obviously there are people trying to make this seem as though it's everyone that is required to. That is just simply not the case. People seem to overblow this, saying we're at the stage of mandatory vaccinations. No, it's not mandatory, at least not in New Zealand. It is just highly recommended that you do, and you're required to get a vaccine if you work at certain areas, but only if you want to still work there. You know, they'll move you to other roles if you don't get the vaccine. So it's not like it's a big deal, honestly. Maybe they're not being harsh enough. Maybe. I'm not going to say that they're...
Good luck internationally traveling.
Yeah. But anyway...
Good luck. You will not be allowed to get into a country without a vaccine. I'm willing to bet that right now.
Absolutely. But anyway, with that, leave a like and subscribe if you liked that segment video thing. Not sure what to call it, but I'll think of something. Make sure you ring the bell notification so that you actually get notified of when I post new videos. I will see you in the next video. Between you and me, thank you for watching. Alright, segment over. And on to...
Oh, Jesus Christ, I've never been here. If you need me to shut my goddamn mouth because you're recording something a bit more than just you gotta go. Listen, planner. I just need direct information. Neon signs literally needed.
Well,
so just look me in the eyes and say, listen, Brainy, I'm recording something. We try to keep talking to a minimum, buddy.
Well, you know, it's always good to have people...
yeah, but I can control myself if somebody just says they need a little bit more, like, you know...
People are confused as to what they were watching there, I guess. So I was recording a small segment, so... actually, I'm
okay, so wait a minute. So we're not... Listen, thank you, people out there, because I was goddamn well confused, too. I'm like, were we in a live stream? All of a sudden we're recording something? I don't understand.
It was a bit of both.
Yeah, it was both.
I get it now.
Both.
I get what he was doing, but, like, I don't know. Maybe I missed the setup ahead of time.
Some people may not... Some people may not watch the entire, may not want to watch the entire hour, and so may not click on this. Whereas if there's a much higher likelihood of them clicking on a small segment, and I just want to set the record straight, honestly.
I am a faithful subscriber to Planet Walk, but not a faithful watcher. I'm gonna admit this now. I've just been in a stage of my life where it's been all babies and. You know, now it's like gymnastics and, you know, baseball games and shit. So it's been, you know, it's hard to keep up with everybody, right?
True. But anyway, this is something that I found funny. Who wants to take... we'll have Brainy Beaver take the mum role. Right, you can put your wig on and then... What? You're going to be the mum in this. We're going to read this out. FTFE can be the person that posted this. And I'll be the dad.
Oh, God.
So...
I'm going to hide behind my neon still, but in heart, I've got my wig on.
So I'm just saying OMG.
Yeah. So Prince Philip dead.
OMG, guys!
On BBC News Now. Oh, wait, we didn't have someone for how long for?
Tell me what to say.
You now. It's on screen.
Oh, fucking Jesus. Let's see. You just planner, you gotta guide a guy, you know. Which screen am I supposed to be looking at here?
My screen. Like the one that has like a WhatsApp message.
Looking at you. I was being your friend.
The watch stream thing.
Okay, I see how this is.
So,
oh, man.
So
do it again. Okay, let's do this. We got this.
All right. Prince Philip dead. FTFE.
OMG!
On BBC News Now. How long for?
He's permanently dead?
A few minutes ago. Yeah,
Worst acting ever.
Yeah. Absolutely. I just, listen, I want to make it known to everybody that I was thrust into this position, and had I known that I was about to be asked to do a mom, I would have actually got my voice mod fired up and really fucking owned that role. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, Planner Walk. We got to talk about these things ahead of time, bro.
Yeah. So
we can own this stream if you let us.
So, permanently dead is kind of one of them... It's redundant. Like,
I mean, you could be dead for a short period of time, I guess. They've pulled people out of cold streams before.
I mean, Yeah,
I mean, when you pull somebody who's been a stream for 3 hours, I would argue that person was effing dead when you pulled them out.
Well, you know, if you've been dead for any longer than, like, 5 hours, I'd argue that you're probably permanently dead by that point.
No, that kid was fine. Actually, there was a kid that was in the water for, like, they estimate 9 hours. And what happened is he got his... No, I'm telling you. This is a real thing. He got his ankle stuck, and what it did is it kept his body out of the water. He fell in a way where his ankle got wedged in a tree branch, and his body was out of the water, which kept his organs warm enough that they didn't completely atrophy and die. But his head was in the water, and he asphyxiated, drowned essentially. But it kept his brain cold enough that it was basically on ice, and they were able to resuscitate him apparently. And he was actually he's like, I'm sure there's probably a little bit of brain damage, but he wasn't like. It wasn't like he was just like in a chair being fed through straw. Like he was functioning and playing with toys and being like, Mama, Dada, you know, like it was like everything was kind of generally okay at that stage. I'm sure when he's older, there's probably going to be a little bit of slow development, but you know, there's been some crazy shit that goes down because when they ice the brain can actually survive a lot longer.
But, yeah, I do want to...
Not to fuck up your theory, these are factual things I remember.
Yeah, well,
like, you know, I'll look it up right now. I'm
generally,
not ready to be wrong.
Generally, when someone's dead, I assume they're generally permanently dead.
That always reminds me of the thing in Scary Movie. He was like, man, next day he woke up dead. He's like, motherfucker, how do you wake up dead? He's like, well, he went to sleep alive, and then he wasn't awake. When he woke up, he was dead. He's like, yeah, but if you're dead, how do you wake up? That was one of the best. It was Kevin Hart and that bigger guy.
Okay, so AB Science might be coming on. Hopefully. But he did have something in the chat saying Beaver was thrust into a position. There are laws against that, and yeah, I might be going to prison.
You can't thrust beavers into positions. Well, you can if they've asked to be thrust into a position, but if you do too much thrusting of beavers into position, you end up like that Gomeshi guy in Canada, that radio host, where all of a sudden the girls are all talking to the news about how they've been thrust into position. But we're just going to end that there because we don't want to demonetize.
Yeah, it's probably already demonetized, to be honest.
Allegedly, and I mean that sincerely because he did get off on charges, so it's all allegedly, but, you know, blah, blah, blah. So moving forward.
So you got this person with a huge beard, inspirational image that looks kind of deep-fried, but... it says, people aren't actually bothered by you not wearing a mask. If it was such a big deal, they would just stay away from you. They are bothered that you're disobedient. They are bothered that your strength shines a light on their weakness. No, we're bothered because...
we're bothered about not catching a deadly virus, you fucking moron.
Yeah, like, sure.
Before we go forward, I got to admit to where I was wrong on something, okay? So, like, hours? That might have been fucking where my memory was failing me. But 60-something, 70 minutes? That's pretty amazing still.
Yeah.
Ground?
But, you know, it's one of them things where, I have a sense of, empathy, right? I have a sense of... I don't want this person to catch a virus because this person, like, if someone's working somewhere like at a convenience store and the convenience store is too budget to put shields up in front of the counter or something, there's a high likelihood that person will catch something from, if the person not wearing a mask has COVID, then that person's probably going to catch the virus, even if they're wearing a mask, because masks are more a preventative measure to stop you from spreading the virus, not so much to stop you from catching the virus, and that's something that a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
like when I go on service calls, I'm in houses for hours and like doing a hot water tank for 4 or 5 hours. It's like, honestly, I truly mean this. Like, if you're right on top of each other, masks, but like if you're in that house, mask or not, I think there's almost no hope for you. Because it doesn't matter if you're on another floor. Like, that shit is so contagious. I mean, everybody knows. Somebody walks in the house with a cold, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and
that's all there is to it.
And as Keith Newton said, non-mask people also spread all over the products and counters, you know? It's like...
Well, it makes you wonder if they even care about washing their fucking hands because they don't even believe in fucking bacteria. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you shit on your hands and wipe it on things too? Because, you know, like, it calls into question their entire level of intelligence immediately.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely something that... It's definitely something that you wonder, like, how far their stupidity goes. But to be fair...
It's just sad.
There's more stupid coming.
I mean, it's kind of sad. It's sad. I actually, you know what, honestly, I thought better of humanity before this started, and I actually lost, you know, like...
No, yeah, humanity
I used to have this opinion... No, like, I used to have this opinion, like, don't get me wrong, I thought humans were idiots, but I was like, you know... In the long run, you know, we're going to be okay. We're a smart race in a lot of ways. Like, when push comes to shove, we can really kind of, like, react. But then this shit happened, and I was like, you know what? I changed my mind. We're going to careen into a fucking wall. Like, that's all there is to it.
Unironically, like, it's actually the anti-vaxxers and the anti-maskers and all that proved Bill Gates right. Bill Gates was like, if anyone's going to kill people en masse... in the next century, it's going to be a deadly pandemic, and it was because of all the anti-maskers and all the anti-vaxxers that he was actually proven right. And so, yeah, one of the there was something that I was going to say, but I forgot. Anyway, we've got more. Like, I've actually found some pretty stupid people, so. Like, we've got this person here. Who tweeted out, "Communism has killed more people than are alive today. An estimated 8.2...
Wait, what now?
An estimated 8.2 billion in the past 250 years or so."
No, I'm sorry, I might not have heard that right. I may have possibly just had a stroke or something. Could you say that again?
Communism?
Is he counting every single, like, oh my god.
He says communism has killed more people than are alive today, an estimated 8.2 billion in the past 250 years.
Yeah, no, see, that's what I thought you said. That's what I thought you said. But, no.
Like, I don't know how, like, do they think that everything to the... Do they think that everything to left of, like, I don't know... the alt-right is communist?
I think so.
Like, that's the only way that you can get there. You gotta literally... I think that you got to assume that World War 1 and 2 were both started by communism. You gotta assume that, like, communism existed before Marxism. Like, when was Marxism invented? Like when was Karl Marx?
But this is going to be, this is no offense. I mean, I don't know how many Americans are watching. I love you all still, but this will definitely be. I mean, the thing is, it has to be one of those, like, right-wing American tweets. Right?
Yeah.
Well, Michael Knowles. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, like, the Communist Manifesto was...
Can I not do a video on him or something?
I don't know. The Communist Manifesto was written in 18...
Oh, yeah, Michael Knowles. He's that cigar-smoking right-wing fucking turd. Yeah, exactly. At Michael Knowles. That whole group of people are a bunch of degenerates.
Oh, Michael Knowles. Didn't he...
He's that fucking slick-haired, basically Italian-American... who rails again. He has a cigar. He's got, like, his freaking little talk show because all those guys wear suits, and this is the freaking collar vest, you know, sweater vest one. Do you know exactly who I'm talking about right now? His little intro has him, like, puffing a cigar and shit.
Oh, I haven't watched any Michael Knowles myself, but I have watched someone respond to Michael Knowles. Essentially, it was titled "The Existential Agony of Watching Michael Knowles Take a Political Compass Test."
Michael Knowles is one of these people where he basically has a cup in front of him that says liberal tears, and all he does is bitch. And I swear to God, he's filling that cup with his own tears. There's a funnel catching them at the edge of his desk, putting them in a bucket for him.
I mean,
because it's absolutely ridiculous. Like it's typical right wing. I'm wah wah wah. Everybody else is a crybaby. Like it's ridiculous.
I mean, I've got a cup that I often fill up with Riley tears.
Urine? Oh, right, sorry.
Well, you should put that. You should put Westy. You should put. I should say. Oh fuck! Can you imagine if you could sell like urine, those little like clear urine collection things for like the doctor, and it has like Westy Lung medical collection cup, or like Westy Lung medicine collection cup or something like that? That'd be funny. There's got to be a way to make this happen. I gotta find a manufacturer.
Yeah, so this is like a cup that I've got, which says, "This is an egg."
Remember, he was getting his dog drugs, everybody. He was feeding his poor, helpless Westy Lung dog. And he later cured with CBD, I guess.
I've also got this one here.
Lol.
The most trusted source of... most trusted news source about Flat Earth on the globe. Or most trusted news about Flat Earth on the globe. Flat Earth News. Both of you have actually hosted, or not hosted, FTFE is hosted, but both of you have been on Flat Earth News. So yeah. I'll actually pin the merch there. Let me go to my merch shelf. And pin the... Seeing as we're talking about... Whenever I talk about merch, I pin it. There we go. Pin merchandise. There we go.
Oh, you have merchandise? I just keep talking about making merchandise. I'm the laziest. I am the deadest lay there is as far as beavers. I don't do shit. But I'm not saying that with pride, everybody. I want you all to know that. I'm saying it with absolute disgust with myself. But I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not even lying. I am literally entering in invoices into my QuickBooks while I'm doing the stream because I'm just trying to finish catching up so I can do this shit. So like right away, I'm going 100%. It's just, you know, but yeah, late dead. I just talk about merch.
So there is the next one that I'm going to bring up is from Matt Gertz.
So I don't walk so serious.
Well, I want to start moving on. Oh, and we've got AB Science.
Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm fun loving. My apologies.
So we've got Matt. Oh, hold on. Maybe I should bring. There we go. So we've got Matt Gertz.
Hi, AB.
Who says, "No, I'm not Matt Gates."
I'm not Matt Gates. Matt Gertz. That's awesome. Oh my god. That's amazing.
You gotta wonder how many...
That's so sweet.
You gotta wonder how many people tried to contact him when the whole Matt Gates stuff came out.
God, that's awesome.
Yeah, we've got a meme here, like... Matt Gertz minding his own damn business. Matt Gertz mentions, yeah.
So has anyone where he's been being harassed a lot? Everybody keeps calling him out as some person. He's like, motherfucker. There's a video of him doing it. He's like, this is the third time this week somebody's called me that. He's getting all pissed off.
Yeah, I do not envy.
So has anyone noticed how? Has anyone noticed how quiet the usual QAnon crowd are about this whole thing?
That Trump's not president, you mean?
Well, just about Matt Gaetz and the allegations and how quiet they have been around this.
Speaking of QAnon, that's our next thing.
Oh.
Nice segue.
Oh, yes.
So, this is how delusional Q people are. Like, we should just start calling them Q-tards. Like, I have no problem with calling them Q-tards, you know? So, apparently this person ended up going to heaven saying, you did it, you trust... And Jesus says, you did it, you trusted the plan. I was Q this whole time, you passed the test, now join me.
Fuck me.
Like, wasn't Jesus like a socialist, or at least very socialist aligning? Like,
just a tad.
Like, that's what I get when I read the Bible. I get this sort of idea of, like, you have this fascist God, and then Jesus comes along and says, actually, you know, let's not have fascism, let's have a more socialist kind of stuff. And that's why I refuse to believe that Jesus and God are the same person.
My whole thing is that if you had told me ahead of time, I could have got my voice mod on and really owned that mom role. I could have really up for you. You just gotta let me know ahead of time. We can make this happen. Better. Unique. I mean, it sounds like I inhaled a helium balloon, I think, but I gotta tweak it.
I bet.
You gotta kind of soften your voice to get the real woman on.
Yeah, we've got Karen Beaver here. But, like, when
what would the background effects for that be? Would it be like other girls going, you go, girl?
But, yeah, like, I had something for this, but I've forgotten what I was going to say. I was going to say...
Took you off targets.
Yeah, something about... Oh, yeah. If heaven is full of Q believers, I don't want to go to heaven. I want to go to hell where the cool kids are.
Hell's going to have much better parties, that's for fucking sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, so... I don't know why it says removed visible identifying info. It's the person... that's why. It says, like, it identifies the person that posted it. Hey, at least I was able to get it before it got removed. So that's a good thing. Let me go.
Planner, why would you just leave me like that? Planner, I want you back, girl. You're my boy.
Is that a beaver voice? I thought Brainy Beaver just always had a beaver voice. I didn't realize that he actually had to put on a beaver voice.
The beavers sound like little toots.
I'm pretty sure, like, you sound like a beaver right now, like, or at least, or maybe a chimp.
Well, maybe this is my new beaver voice. I've just got to alter it. You gotta wait, take down the intelligence. Wait, here. Check. No, that's like I'm in a microphone or something.
So
are we still playing with the vocal transformations?
Oh, there you go. You gotta, if you put a little softness into it, you can really get it going.
Oh, is Satan with you, AB?
Just putting it right on this game here.
Is Satan there with you, AB?
Sorry?
Is Satan there with you?
Yeah.
It takes me a bit more to do Satan, but I can work in the background and do a little bit of a Satan.
Okay. But what I was going, the next thing we're going to bring up is this thing here, and it's I don't know who Ben Garrison. I don't know who Ben Garrison is, right? But yeah, so this person says, "I take care of myself. Smoking, ooh, I eat nothing but organic, non-GMO food," and then they get the vaccine. And like, I'd say that the vaccine is probably the smartest, well, the second smartest thing probably. Like, smoking is good. Well, smoking is probably a given. I'd say don't smoke, right? You know, but like the organic, non-GMO food, that's, you know, you can eat GMOs. Like, just because something organic doesn't mean that it's good. But I do like what Xander Hall said here. He says, "I like how he tries to make this look scary, but half of these ingredients are things we eat every day, like animal cells. I think formaldehyde is like, isn't that in like food coloring or something? Salt, lipids, acetic acid. I'm not sure about latex rubber. I'm not sure if they put half of these things in, to be honest. Like, why do they put sugar into vaccines? Maybe it's useful.
Well, there's always a reason. It's a molecular thing.
Yeah, I feel like they would just like, let's put as many scary things in here, like salt. It has salt in it.
I mean, they drink chloride, so they shouldn't be scared of salt. It's just made of chlorine. Sodium.
Yeah. Oh, and the next thing is, who's ready to be scarred for life?
Again? I have to see Brainy's face every week.
Morning when I look at my hairy body in the mirror.
So, time to scar everyone.
He doesn't even know how to take these fucking jokes.
No,
Like, fucking FTFE just used to it now. He just rolls forward. Planner, I'm just derailing the fucking train here every time. Sorry, keep going. I'm almost out of here anyways. Then you'll be free of the beaver.
Being free of the beavers, it sucks.
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on who you are, right? Some people are okay with it. It depends on what they're up to at night.
So, Slotwise teamed up with experts to make 3D models of what human hands could theoretically look like if they evolved to better fit video game controllers. Right? And this is how they looked.
Oh, that's terrifying! I've never played video games.
Oh my god!
Why would you
what the
tell
hell
me
is
that?
that? Wait, is this supposed to be a real like hand? Did somebody
Yeah,
think
that's
this was
saying that's what humans would evolve to if we evolved to accommodate video game controllers.
Oh, I see. It's like when they made the person that would have to evolve to accommodate car accidents, and they had like made of ribs.
Yeah.
It looks like how does something with such...
Wait. So we are the Greys, is what you're telling me. Like, that's all there is to it.
Well, it means that the Greys will be better at playing video games than we are. No.
Bum, bum, bum.
But like, how do they make hands look both less like feet and more like feet at the same time?
I know it's
like
yeah, I wish you hadn't shown me that. If I'm honest.
Boom! It's been done. Nothing you can do now, bruh.
I think the thanks I hate it is a perfectly adequate.
Yeah, thanks. I really hate that.
One person did have a good point. Aren't video game controllers designed to fit hands, though?
I don't know. Have you ever tried playing with the N64? That was not designed for any fucking hand.
If you want to be elite, you got to evolve hands like this. That's all I'm saying.
Someone said, "Aren't those teams' hands?" And that makes a good point. These hands can't be especially evolved to play video games.
Those fucking teams' hands.
Yeah, because like they're teams' hands, and we know that team sucks at video games. So
yeah, what's it? Simon Dan calls team his FIFA bitch.
And here I thought that Simon Dan was a kind person.
Oh no, Simon Dan's horrible.
Yeah, seems like Simon Dan can roast people if he actually tries.
And the new conspiracy begins with that comment by FTFE.
Yeah.
But here we go to some of the absolutely. So Kevin Sorbo says.
Kevin Sorbo. Wait, well, no. Before I give him like love, what do you say?
He says the side saying if you don't like Satan shoes, don't buy them is the same side saying that boycotts Chick-fil-A for being Christian. Just don't eat there.
That's what a fucking boycott is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome. The next tweet is amazing.
Yeah, it says that that is literally what a boycott is. Please join us next week on Explaining Words to Kevin Sorbo.
I think but okay, in fairness, I think his statement was more about cancel culture than just but oh my god, still kind of a dumb comment.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wait, Steve Hofstetter, who's that? He's got a check mark.
Yeah, I don't.
Hofstetter. Why do I know that name?
I don't know. Hold on. Logical Hillbilly
do your
says
research,
that's
bro.
almost as disturbing.
You never know.
as
There
when
might be a
Witsit
bigger story.
said that he caught Nathan watching him and taking pics of him sleeping. What? Nathan?
He's a stand-up comedian.
Nice.
No wonder he grilled him so good.
Yeah.
Join us next week where we explain words to Kevin Sorbo.
I wonder how many people.
Well, in fairness, over the past year or so, that's the only thing that Twitter, stand-up comedians have had to do is just be Twitter reply guys, isn't it?
Yeah,
True.
pretty much.
Twitter's a great place. Did you see the Twitter profile that started up when the Ever Ready was stuck in the Suez? There was a guy who was it was Digger. His hang thing was like, or his whatever it's called, your name on Twitter. It was like guy in the digger at Suez Canal, and it just said in the description, "Trying my best, no promises." And the picture was an image like from like up at like a drone shot from way up in the sky of this gigantic Ever Ready wedged in the canal, and this tiny little digger at the front, fucking trying to dig it out. One little digger. And it was awesome. Like he already had thousands of Twitter followers. I'm like, I said to my wife, I see that right there. That's a guy who knew what he was doing. He's like, motherfucker, I'm going to start my social media career right now.
So who here can do like a Bernie impression?
Oh, it's so funny.
Crap at impressions.
Like, Brainy, maybe have a.
Now you're tagged to the hospital.
So Bernie says, "Have you ever avoided taking an ambulance because you could not afford it?" And then someone responds,
"You couldn't not afford it."
Terrible. That was terrible.
Well, you do better than.
Well, I can't. I mean, I'm shit at. I can't even do.
Have you ever avoided taking an ambulance because you could not afford it?
Okay, that was pretty good.
That was better. Yeah, that's better than anything I would do. I can't even do a Dutch accent.
Well, you got to remember, I'm also Canadian. I get saturated with their media, so I know exactly what Bernie Sanders sounds like. So I can at least get close.
So, somebody says, the ambulance is not your taxi to the hospital.
I'm waiting for you to scroll down. Oh my god.
I like the sir at the end of it.
I know.
Yeah,
he just finishes up and puts
fantastic.
Puts a little mwah on the end of it. It's amazing.
It's like well, what is an ambulance if it's not a taxi to the hospital? Like,
that's pretty much exactly what it is. It's just a really expensive taxi. That's all.
Yeah, maybe we should start just.
I mean, it costs
taxis.
you money. It does. Even here, like we got our medical paid for, but I have to.
Yeah, I don't
have a company benefit plan because I'm self-employed. So like, if I call an ambulance, it will legit cost me like $600 or $700.
Well, I mean,
I might avoid
money
calling an ambulance if I don't have to. I might rush somebody to the hospital really fucking fast, like, you know.
But in fairness, it costs us. It costs us money as well. It's through thing called
I think that's most of
taxes.
Yeah.
And because it's universal in this country, we pay less in tax than what we would pay in healthcare premiums, and we don't
but your ambulance ride is included in your medical costs. Like they wouldn't give you a bill for your ambulance.
Well, they won't give us a bill anyway.
I don't get a bill for my medical care. I'll never see one. I don't sign anything. I just walk in.
We wouldn't get a bill for anything.
But I get a bill for my ambulance after the fact. They don't run my credit card before they pick up my wife or something. But later in the mail, I'm gonna get a sheet of paper that says, "Hey, guess what? You owe us this much money for your very expensive, paramedic ambulance ride," because it's kind of like we have a bit of a hybrid, let's face it, the greater portion of our medical expenses are paid, but certain things like drugs are not paid. However, we definitely pay less than the Americans, and our ambulance ride isn't paid, but I'm willing to bet you there's regulations that control its cost, though.
In the UK, the only thing we pay, and that's in England only, I don't know what it's like in Scotland, but in England, you pay £7 for a prescription.
No, you pay bugger all in Scotland.
Yeah, in Wales, it's...
Well, no, you pay for your drugs here, but most people have a medical plan through work and stuff, and it's pretty subsidized.
Yeah,
like I pay,
you just pay £7,
pills say,
and that's it.
My pills for 100 say like $480 on the side of the thing, but I pay $99. I pay $1 a pill, so I pay like a quarter of, or less than a fifth almost of what the actual listed price on the side is. And what it is that the government's paying the other $350 damn dollars of it is what they're doing, and I'm just paying. And then if you had a medical plan, like a benefit plan through work, they would pay the difference, and I'd pay like distribution costs of $6 or something. It's like the administration fee.
So in the UK, you can go private, but most of your private things are a fucking scam because they will only cover you if you can't get reasonable treatments. I'm
going private for my knee.
NHS. Yeah,
the NHS are like bad for some things. Like I need my
they're obvious. That's obvious problems.
NHS don't want to fucking do it, you know.
Yeah, there are obvious problems with the NHS. Absolutely won't deny that. And sometimes it is more useful to go private, but you do have issues with that because I remember my brother going in through private stuff, and he tried to claim for it, and they wouldn't cover it because they deemed that it was perfect. He could receive the same treatment through the NHS in a reasonable way. And that's where it gets a bit questionable.
In New Zealand, I haven't had any problems with healthcare yet. Although I think most things are covered under like ACC. But anyway,
I mean, here if a person breaks their leg at a party, you're all partying and somebody does like, oh look, I can do a fucking backflip, and he fucking breaks his leg drunk or something. We don't go, which hospital do we take you to? Well, I've been there. So, I mean, I've been in that. That is the story that existed. I was the sober person. It was my half ton. We just said, I was just like, all right, well, I mean, fucking load him in the back of the truck, I guess. Let's take him to the hospital. And then you drive with the screaming person in the back of the vehicle to the hospital. So, and you just drop him off and say, take care of our friend. Have a good night. Drive away to continue partying because he's in good hands. He doesn't need anything. Hospitals got him. He's good. What's your name? As they walk through the doors, see ya.
Also, so I do want to move on to the next thing because we're getting even stupider.
I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing whilst we've been talking, but I'm now rendering a special logo for you, Planet Walk.
Nice.
Ooh, Planet Boo.
So, someone said, okay, the stupidity has to end. And I agree. I've wound up on a Wikipedia page that says that dolphins are mammals. How the fuck can dolphins be mammals when they live in the ocean? Y'all let websites like Wikipedia misinform people. Dolphins are fish.
Well, according to the Bible, anything that lives in the ocean is a fish, and anything in the sky is a bird. So that means that dolphins and whales are both fish, and bats are in fact birds.
Yeah, but you have to remember that rabbits are fish as well.
Rabbits are fish.
Yeah, rabbits are fish as well. I think that came from a group of monks who, instead of because they could only eat rabbits, they could only have access to rabbits as a source of food. They managed to get the Vatican to agree that rabbits count as fish, so they could eat that on a Friday.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes an incredible amount.
Because
no,
logic.
Sorry, not sense. The other thing. That's batshit fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Someone said, but that dolphin is currently in the sky, so it is a bird. Yeah, dolphins are bird now, they're birdfish.
Well, there was a point in the Douglas Adams...
internet packet carriers.
There was a point in the Douglas Adams book where both a whale and a boa petunias magically appeared in the sky. So I guess whales are birds, right?
Exactly.
Ooh, what am I? What is this? What's this thing rushing by me? Who is it? Is it air? I want to get a name. Is it like the air? Is it like air? Like air? Wind? Is it wind? Oh my goodness, hello, wind.
And yeah, that's what the whale said.
That, and my dad was sitting there like, what have I fucking signed up for?
What thoughts went through the mind of the boa petunia? Does anybody know?
Was it a bullet?
Oh, it was like... Not
again. Oh, no, not again.
Not again. Oh, no, not again. which says more about... So, like, didn't it say something that means more about the bowl of petunias and blah, blah, blah? Like,
yeah. Turns out the bowl of petunias was actually, what's his name? It was the bowl of petunias was the creature that kept getting reborn, and then Arthur Dent would kill it over and over and over. I can't remember the name. Is it Slarty Bartfast? Is that his name? Maybe, I'm not sure. I can't remember now. I need to read the Hitchhikers again.
I told you my name didn't matter.
So, here's some excellent maths, where someone says, basically is making a joke, saying, "Buff dude, I kissed 50 times more girls than you did, and it's me. 50 times 0 equals 0. And then one person says, well, actually, if it's 50 times 0, it's still 50, but 0 times 50 is 0. Or was that a joke? I can't tell.
I want to
was that a joke? I can't tell.
Yeah, was that a joke?
Yeah. It's one of them things where it's like, of course, this was a joke, you know, but it's also like using maths to make a joke, you know. Why is my mouse not moving as much as I'd like it to? I mean, my mouse is buggered. But
the rodents are
let's ask J.L. Warren. He could tell us if it's ghosts or not.
But yeah, like, how are people this bad at maths?
I don't know. Why do you guys say maths? I don't like the S. Get angry at it.
The S doesn't like you either, stupid beaver.
Like, it's maths.
I mean, you know what? I wouldn't have that much of a problem with you, beaver, if you weren't such a vanilla racist. Okay.
God damn it, eh? Like I was gonna say, you guys, now that you've had all this racist vanilla on your channel, watch out.
Beaver, it's maths, not math. There's an S in there.
But why?
Nah,
well, apparently both math and math is correct.
It's 4 letters.
Yeah, both is fine.
It's 5 letters, not 4.
I've learned to coexist with your S. Okay, it's okay. I've come to terms, but I don't know how I feel still.
It's just 5 letters, not 4.
It's just like listen. I'm on your side with like pronouncing things like herbs, you know, or like
herb.
Because there's an H in it. No, you don't say herbs. You say herbs. Don't you?
No, we don't. We say herbs.
Who says herbs?
Yeah,
unless I'm messaging my friends and I literally message, have you got any herb? ERB. But you know, that's a particular message I send to
that's American. Friend. You realize that's not European. That's American.
Yeah, but if you say herb in Europe, that refers to weed.
They know exactly what you fucking mean.
Wow, if you call the right person and say I'm looking for some herb, he knows what you're talking about. Don't worry.
What do you think of? Can you see the render there, Planawalk?
Yep. Oh, we've got something for AB Science. AB Science, you need to read this out. So you can be the blue person. I'll be the red person.
All right, okay. So I'm the blue person.
Yep.
It's not the democracy.
It literally is a democracy.
Nope, it's science, and all it takes is for one scientist to prove the rest wrong, like many times throughout history.
Yes, as long as their science is spins and agreed with and repaired and accepted by their peers. That's what peer review is.
Peer-reviewed
science isn't science. Are you trying to catch fucking sound bites from me?
I'm sorry. That you need to warn me if there's going to be something like that on screen because I just had a little heart attack.
You're just trying to catch sound bites from me. I'm fully expecting this to appear on the internet at some point somewhere, and someone's going to abuse it.
I did get told today, whilst talking to a flat earther on Facebook Messenger, that if I'm using the scientific method, then I'm doing pseudoscience.
Oh God, I think I know who you're talking about. Is this the guy that will claim that all hypotheses take the form of if A then B, and then you observe B, therefore A, and that's affirming the consequent fallacy?
Yeah. He says that the entire scientific method is an affirming the consequent fallacy. It's just
as much as I would love to talk, I'm going to let you guys talk. I'm going to jump out. Okay, Planner, thank you for having me. I really appreciate you bringing my ADHD ass on. Next time, do me a favor. Tell me the fucking format a little bit. Just give me a bit of guidance. I actually don't watch you enough to know. So, but otherwise, no, it was a lovely time, and thanks for chatting, AB.
It's not all the time that I record a segment.
Cheers, dude.
During these things.
Well, it's all good. I'm just teasing you anyway, so it's all good, man. AB, always nice to hear that raspy, wonderful voice of yours. And FTFE, it's a pleasure as always, sir.
Well done. You remember, Brainy, that you still got another 12 episodes to get some score in.
We'll get there. We got this. Anyways, all right. Thanks for having me. Have a good night, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, see you
later.
Catch you later.
Vanilla out. Clip that.
Thank God. Is he gone? Great.
Oh, now I can talk shit about his ADHDs. I was wondering what AB Science... I was more wondering what AB Science's reaction to something that stupid would be.
Well, there's a lot of stupid. And, yeah. There's multiple layers of stupid. It's the guy talking about, as long as their science is spins and agreed and with accepted. No, that's not how peer review goes. And yeah, peer reviewed science isn't science. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, it is from r/confidently incorrect.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, who is really behind gun control? Apparently these...
Is it me?
Italians?
So it's not me?
Like, apparently...
Irish.
I wanted to be behind
wait, is that the Irish flag? There.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Italian flag, my bad.
Yeah, O'Malley. A very traditional Italian name.
Bill Clinton, extremely Italian, right? And that classic Italian name, George Clooney.
Well, the classic Italian name, Seth MacFarlane. That does sound more Irish. But were all these all Irish? Are they all really Irish? Is Joe Biden Irish?
Well, the thing is, right?
I can see some of them, like O'Donnell and O'Malley. Those are definitely Irish.
Yeah, but there's a bit of an issue when it comes to being, and I suppose the Irish will take the piss out of the Americans for this, in saying, "I'm Irish," and their great grandmother was Irish, and therefore they're Irish. Well, no, but by that reasoning, I am fucking Dutch, English, Welsh, Scottish, German, Indonesian, Italian. I'm fucking everything. Everyone is everything, especially when you're in a country built by immigrants.
So does that mean that I am, like, I know that I'm part German, but does that mean that I am a Viking?
Yes, we're all Vikings. But it's also, yes, the evil Irish cabal.
Yeah, like there's
the Irish deep state with. No, seriously, can you think of Jesus?
One person says you forgot Obama.
Yeah,
Obama, a clearly Irish name.
Well, we've never heard him say 33 1/3, so he could very well be Irish.
Now, talking about Seth MacFarlane, when the hell is season 3 of Orville coming out?
I have no idea.
Please tell me you've watched Orville.
No, I haven't. I need to watch.
All right, I'm going to unsubscribe from you right now. Where's Patreon? Cancel Patreon. Why? Right, the Orville is Star Trek for people that wanted Star Trek to become something specific. It's just like it's oh my! I can't even describe how good the Orville is.
Okay, as I said, I haven't seen it, so I'd need to.
Well, after this show, you need to go and rectify that.
What streaming service is it on?
Pretty sure it's on Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime. Have you watched Invincible?
I haven't watched anything on Amazon Prime.
God, you suck.
I don't have the money for like 50 different streaming services. But when it comes to this, there's someone that says, my mum owns a restaurant in Silver City, New Mexico, and can't find people who want to work. They'd rather collect unemployment dollars. That's the society we've created with free handouts, right? And unemployment benefits in New Mexico are 53.5% of your average weekly wage during your highest paid quarter of the base period. You've got a minimum of $86 and a maximum of $461. So, like, if you don't work at all, you don't get very much.
Not really.
$86 doesn't seem like very much, honestly. And like I think that it's one of the things where a lot of people, like, okay, in New Zealand, people would probably rather be studying than on benefit because you get more from studying, right? Like, you get, I think, is a study link up to, like, I think it's up to something like $300 now a week. That's New Zealand money, though. So
that's quite decent.
Yeah.
So not real money, not like actual proper money.
It's the money that I give to you, FTFE, after you rig the show.
Well,
in my favor.
But to be fair, NASA convert that to like useful tender for me. So
yeah, it's one of them things where, like, if you want to do anything in America, like with your life that isn't living in your mum's basement, you have to work. By the sounds of it, you know,
yeah. And the problem is that the research shows the exact opposite, right? So universal basic income tests have shown that employment increases.
Okay.
And suitable employment increases. So the issue is that if you're living hand to mouth, you don't have the opportunity to train. You don't have the opportunity to invest in your future and actually look for long-term careers. You're in a position of you need a job because you need to take money.
Yeah.
And it forces you into a short-term thinking, right? You're living paycheck to paycheck, and that prevents you from actually looking at long-term options.
Yeah, like I would like my dream job would be to be writing stories in a game development scenario, right? That's what I really want to do. Now I have I have qualifications that allow me to be able. I have a bachelor in IT, I have a graduate diploma in audio production, so I have a fair amount of skills that allow me to create video games. Now, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was forced to, get a job instead of studying. Or if I was forced to get a job whilst I was studying in order to pay for me studying. So...
Yeah. I mean,
it was either that or take out a loan that would probably have like heaps of interest on it.
Well, I did my after I did my first undergraduate degree, I did some menial work for a supermarket. Worked in HR there, I then got picked up by Microsoft and worked there full time, and that gave me the money to do a master's degree in my spare time. But that was fucking tough.
Yeah,
doing that. It really, you're working 40, 50 hours a week, and then you have to do that in the evenings. And then I had a little bit of an in-between. There were some issues. So then I could work full-time, and I didn't have anything in the evenings, and I kind of just moved up into that career. A career I absolutely didn't want to. I hated it. I was going from job to job because nothing was a good fit.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. The saving grace was that, okay, I went from job to job, but each job I jumped to paid ridiculously well. So I did end up being able to just about afford to do my undergraduate in physics and do that full time. But I could just about afford the tuition fees and cover rent for that period of time. But to feed myself, I still had to work full time. I still had to work full time. Okay, it was a menial job. It was a supermarket again. But I did that whilst I did my undergraduate degree, and it was fucking tough.
Yeah. When it came to...
And the only reason I can do that is because I was in my early 20s, not needing a lot of sleep. Mainly because of mental health problems, which works in my favor, I suppose, in that situation. But most people are not in a position to be able to do that.
Exactly.
So actually, if you give people a good safety net, they can perform much better.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's one of the arguments for universal basic income. But also, if you just go for the raw reasoning of people don't want to work because unemployment benefits are so good, I suggest that you go on unemployment for a while.
Yeah, like why
see if you can actually make that work. Good fucking luck.
Like, here's the thing. It's one of them things which, if you don't want to work because unemployment benefits, if people don't want to work because unemployment benefits are so good, then why don't you go on an unemployment benefit? Obviously, you're tempted to go on an unemployment benefit. Why aren't you on an unemployment benefit? Is the question that you ask. If it's so good.
Yeah, that's the thing. But that's where the argument falls apart because here we've just gone through the economic decision making process and what's a person's capacity, but it is that there's a certain reasoning that a lot of people have been conditioned into thinking, and that is the idea that people do stuff for extrinsic rewards. You go to work because you do your job because you want to get paid. But if you flip that around, say if you don't get paid, you wouldn't work.
Am I back?
Well,
yeah, you're back.
Sorry?
FTFE.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. My internet crapped out.
Yeah.
What AB Science is saying is right. You have to do what you have to do. After I got injured in the military and came out, and I was a wind farm developer for a while, and that was great, but I couldn't do that because of my injury, and I had to end up going to McDonald's so I could live month to month, even though I've got 2 degrees. That's just what I had to do. And that took away my ability to get any new skills. Right. I've been kind of lucky where, I say lucky, I got even more injured at McDonald's. My knee completely exploded after all my injuries from that. And, I'm now at home all the time. And, that being at home and having that short period of government assistance did give me the ability to kind of teach myself some new skills. And even after making my channel a full-time thing, I've got the time, because there's enough money coming in. I feel like I'm supported. I can spend some time learning new skills, like this thing that I've just made for you, right?
Yeah.
I've been teaching myself to do this shit over the past few weeks, And I'm now at a stage where I've just made that in less than an hour. And you put that full screen, show everyone, because I think that looks pretty damn good for less than an hour.
Yeah, like I had it on screen earlier as well.
I can change it about and make it more polished and stuff for you. But that's kind of the basic. I've now got the skills to be able to pull off graphical things like that are pretty easy to put together. And now I know how to do it. But when you are living hand to mouth, month to month, you don't have the time or the energy or the emotional stability to teach yourself new things. And it's hard to get out of that position.
Yeah, like for me.
Yeah, and that's the important point, right? It's you need to have some space, and I suppose, right, because there are several tacks. Like, the point just before you came back, point I was going to make is firstly to have the idea that you do work to get paid. And yeah, a lot of people will do that. But the other problem, what you've got to then ask is, if you don't get paid, would you work? And, would you put effort into something if you don't get paid? But how can you then explain a lot of amateur hobbyists, right? Yeah. You get so many musicians, no hope in hell of securing a record deal. It's a lot of work. What, are you saying they're doing it to get paid? Because that doesn't make sense. They don't get paid. They don't get paid for this. I'm currently recording a record. I don't expect any money from this, but I'm still doing it. It's hard work, and I enjoy doing it. Yeah. But even if we go further, there is because if they're thinking about this in terms of economic contracts. But when you remove economic contracts, social contracts come in, and people want to be part of their community. People want to work and contribute to society.
Here's the thing: if I didn't have to worry about getting paid, sure, I wouldn't make as many videos as I do. But the videos that I do make would have a lot more effort put into each of them. I'll be putting so much effort into each video because of the simple fact is it'd be something that I'd be doing for fun, and when you're doing something for fun, you can actually put in a lot more effort. Like, in fact, lately I've been more working on my game than videos. That's why videos haven't been coming out as much as I probably should have been putting them out. But like, it's one of them things where I really enjoy working on my game, even though I don't get paid. Currently I don't get paid for working on it, but I'd like to, Yeah.
Hey, Planet. I do need to jump out now, bud. I want to say thank you for having me on, and congratulations on another win on the show.
Yeah, I did say to Brainy yesterday as well that I'm going to kick his ass.
I'll send you the link to this and you can use it as you see fit, and if you want any changes or anything, just let me know. I can change colors and speed and textures and everything, but I fucking love playing with VFX. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I might ask for a bit more polish because there are a few things with that are a little bit jagged. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it's pretty good for an hour.
It was, like I said, a really, really quick kind of. I can muck about with the masks, make them a lot cleaner. So, because there's a bit on the bottom there, and the bottom right, it's kind of a bit jagged.
Yeah.
That's just what the auto trace has picked up. But I can go in and adjust all the masks if I've got more time.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, AB Science, nice to speak to you, and I will speak to everybody later.
All right.
Well, you catch you later. But yeah, I mean, I think the point is, like, if you think about the economic contracts, right? I'm currently doing my PhD. I make less than minimum wage at the moment.
Oh, geez.
I could go to I make less than minimum wage because the money I've got coming in is considered a stipend. It's not considered a salary. So they can get away with it. But
so maybe you should.
I could take my skill set. I could take it to the city, and I could take my take home could be easily 10 times that what I currently take home.
Yeah, maybe people should go.
People don't do stuff for the money.
Maybe people should go to Patreon and give AB Science, throw AB Science a bit of money there.
No, I don't. I'm not billing on Patreon at the moment. My channel is down because I need to focus on my thesis.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of time to work on my videos, so and I'm starting to feel like the whole Patreon thing. I'm starting to be a bit quite uncomfortable with it, especially now I'm not.
Fair enough.
I'm not putting out a lot of content because that economic contract, right? You start giving me money on Patreon, then you're establishing the economic contract, and I'm not quite comfortable with it. If I were putting out lots of stuff on a weekly basis, as I was doing before, then fine. If you want to support me, that's fine. But at the moment, I've paused all billing, and
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Because I do remember that you had a couple of people on Patreon, and I thought that would, in my mind I was like, oh, that would probably help you with your financial situation.
Yeah, it's fine. My financial situation isn't too bad. I mean, overall household income is good. I've got stock options and stuff, so yes. I know the hypocrisy of socialist on the stock market is weird, but yeah.
Well, when you have to live, like when you got to participate in capitalism to live, you kind of don't have any option. You don't have much options but to
that's the thing. I don't have issues with the stock market per se, like on a first principles level, right? Democratizing capital, because in principle everyone has access to the stock market, but the reality is, of course, that is not the case. Now it's getting better with with the recent wave of the democratization of the stock market, with things like Trading 212 and Robinhood and all of those little apps where you can start with small investments. But to make any serious money out of it, you need to put serious money into it.
Yeah.
And that's not accessible to people.
Definitely. Anyway, we'll go on to the next thing, which is by an AI. So, I am a little bit pissed at Wintbit AI, because he says, you know what? I think that genes are more trouble than they're worth. Let's cut the crap now. Let's all go back to the loincloth lives. What am I going to do with my jeans? I'm wearing jeans right now. Granted,
but
jeans.
Aside from capitalization, I find it quite impressive that the AI has better spelling and grammar than half of fucking Twitter.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's based off one person's tweets. This person,
fair enough,
called Wint. So yeah.
But I suppose it's a timely critique of the. I'm thinking too much into this, but it's a timely critique of the whole face masks thing. People shouting like, "Oh, let's take our face masks off," and blah de blah de blah. It's like, well, if that's if that limits your freedom somehow, try walking around with your trousers off and trying to make the same argument. I bet it's the same fucking people who are whining about the face masks who will try and call you a pervert for walking around with your dick out.
Yeah. So, we're going to have to help someone. We're all going to have to help someone. This person here has no idea what this means. And to be honest, I'm not sure what it means either. What does this graph mean? What is? I'm sure this is from PragerU. Well, it looks like you got blue asphyxiated people from PragerU, and one of them looks like Hitler. And they say that Hitler's bad, and these two old people are good. And they're saying something about life works and immortality on this axis.
It's PragerU. You don't question them. You just don't question the intellectual standard and the intellectual superior people at PragerU, because I mean, they are just wonderful. No, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't like. It seems like it's saying Hitler bad, old people good, but Hitler was immortal. some stupid shit like that. I don't know. Like, the taller you are, the more immortal you are. I don't know. Like, I really don't. I really don't understand this.
I suppose Keith Newton is making a point. Is like, it's saying that people remember the bad things and people. In a way, that's kind of true.
Okay, so what it's trying to say is that, all right, we can debunk this now. So it's trying to say that your legacy will be more like, if people remember your legacy, it's more likely that you're a bad person. In which case, then what about like Mother Teresa? People generally remember her for the good stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't really remember for the really shitty stuff.
Yeah, like that. Like maybe, like it seems like maybe people remember Hitler for the shitty stuff because maybe Hitler wasn't a good person. Maybe.
And maybe we should kind of learn from history, and I suppose but that's something that PragerU is not very good at. I suppose most people aren't very good at learning from history. I have a long-standing argument that says that we shouldn't bother teaching history to kids because we don't fucking learn from it anyway.
Someone actually reminded me of a poll that I've got to put out. Someone says, I reckon Trump will be remembered a lot more than the current guy. Who? Who's president again? I'm gonna make that poll right now.
Biden is exceptionally boring, isn't he?
Yeah,
well, if you look into him, he's a bit more interesting than, and he's a lot more shitty than a lot of people would think.
I mean, he's actually got some
typical.
Good policies. Like, here's the thing. Like, Trump had a couple of good policies. Biden has more good policies, although, to be fair, like, some of Biden's good policies are just undoing the shit that Donald Trump did. You know, but, like,
yeah.
Like, his infrastructure plan, like, that, I've had a brief look at it, but it seems like it's got some good stuff in there, like rolling out, like, a national broadband, trying to get a national broadband network going, you know, with fiber. That seems like it's something that would be good and would create jobs. So, you know, it's so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to deny that Biden's got some decent plans, but he's just a fucking mainstream Democrat.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's a mainstream Democrat. It's a good relief to have that over the other guy, but let's not forget that Biden he's still an irritating fucking neoliberal, and he's really fucking shit.
Yeah. So I'm saying I keep forgetting who the president is, so please remind me, and I'm going to add, there's going to be 5 options. Option 1 being Donald Trump, option 2 being Joe Biden, option 3 being Kamala Harris, option 4 being Robo Bernie, and option 5 being Donald Duck.
Oh, I think you forgot it is actually Donald Trump, but with a face-off like transplant, a face transplant. That's the thing that has been floated.
Oh, yeah, I do. I have heard about that. So, yeah, I'm just going to copy this link so that people can vote on this. So we'll see like what people say about this. It's currently 0%, and when it gets to, what I'll do is I'll wait for the next. I'll go on to the next thing, right? And then after, because this is the last thing that's going to be on the show, so we'll get this up. So, you know, people like you and I, AB Science, we use the metric system, but America keep one bald eagle of space between you and others.
Well, I think I can do one better than that. I'll need to find it and send it to you.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit, this is quite a while ago. Oh, God. Probably can't. I won't be able to find it. Ah, there we go. Actually managed to find it.
Oh, you managed to find it?
Yeah, now I need to find a way to send it to you.
Oh, there's the private group. There's private chats.
Yeah, but carry on. I'll keep one baldy. I think that, you know.
I mean, as long
I think there's certain value in doing silly shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, they do use freedom units over there, so using one bald eagle is the most freedom of freedom units by the sounds of it.
Yeah, but you know what's really fun? If you start telling them that their freedom units are actually metric.
How so?
Because the problem is that all those units are defined in terms of metric.
Oh, that is funny. Oh, one person says, "What's that in sheep units?"
Well, in sheep units, 1.5 sheep and a blowjob.
Sounds about right. All right, let's see what the poll says. Last I saw it was on 0% everything. So let's see what. Oh.
You need to vote yourself. I'll load it up.
It's because I haven't.
Oh, you're not signed in.
Signed in, yeah. Let me sign into.
Okay, so currently, Donald Trump is at 0. Joe Biden is at 21%. Robo Bernie is at 21%. And Donald Duck is at 57%.
Into your password.
So that means that there are 14 votes. Yes.
I got a pretty long password. It's like 30 characters long. Not really 30 characters long, but password things are basically now sentences these days. And two-step, two-factor authentication. Give me a second. Because, you know.
Yeah, I sent you the picture in the private chat as well. It's just very nerdy.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that there'd be some votes for Kamala Harris. I actually thought Kamala Harris would do better than Joe Biden. Because, you know, there's the sort of meme of... Oh, okay. Shit, not save image. Copy link. No, I didn't want to save image. Go away, Discord. Alright, let's bring that up. Yeah, so keep one...
So there you have it, you know.
Wavelength apart at 164 megahertz. That's glorious. Yeah,
So, you know, that's still using your metric units, and it's in the same vein.
Yeah. It's using, because it's basically based off the speed that light travels, I'd say, and the amount of that it travels between the trough and the peak, or between trough and another trough, in 1 second. So, yeah, like I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll see if anything has changed. Oh, Robo Bernie has gone up.
Go Robo Bernie.
Yeah, that's who's going to be running in 2024. It's going to be Robo Bernie. That's who's going to be the nominee for the Dem. I wonder how Bernie Sanders would actually do if he run for the Republican Party. Like, that would be interesting.
I think reality would implode.
You'd have everybody just be really confused. Like, it'd be one of them things of he'd be trying to move the Republican Party to the left. I mean, it would be like there would actually be a chance of the Republicans getting in if if Bernie Sanders were to run for the Republican Party, I think. Because, you know, like Donald Trump got in because he was a populist, I think. And Bernie Sanders is very much a populist.
Yeah. I mean, the reasons why Donald Trump got in are, quite complicated. You could pretty much write a book on that and just title it. I think that you'll find it's a bit more complicated than that.
Well, it's more complicated than just just one thing. Like,
yeah,
you can say that Joe Biden only got in because he was up against Donald Trump, but it's definitely more complicated than that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely more complicated than that, because it wasn't just the fact that he was up against Donald Trump. It was just the fact that he's a mainstream Democrat, and it's far more palatable. Is far more palatable than to most people than Bernie would be.
Yeah.
Because you have to remember that you have this Overton window that shifted so far right that you have the Overton window that shifted so far right that people are painting Joe Biden as fucking left wing,
as a communist.
Yeah, is they no he's quite right wing. He's quite far on the right side of the neoliberal spectrum. He's not just a neoliberal, he's quite right on the neoliberal spectrum as well.
I'd say that what's happened is the Overton window has been split in two.
No.
Like,
I would.
Like, because you got people to some people the Overton window is split on two. Like, you got people on the left that everything to the right of them is a Nazi, and you got people on the right where everything to the left of them is communist. So
yeah, but I suppose you do have that polarization. But when we're talking about mainstream discourse, at the end of the day, right? Where are left-wing TV channels?
Yeah.
That keep talking about the radical left. It's like, can you find me a mainstream news outlet that aligns with the quote-unquote radical left? Because, newsflash, CNN is not that.
Yeah, you hear a lot of people will say, oh, CNN is the communist news network, and it's like, is it really, though? And, like, it's funny to me when people say that Sky News is... because I heard someone say that Sky News is very trustworthy, and Fox News is also sometimes trustworthy, and I'm like, well, you do realise that, A... Fox News' defense for why they shouldn't be sued to oblivion or something like that was that no reasonable person would actually take Tucker Carlson seriously. That was their defense.
Yeah, that was about Tucker Carlson's. Yeah, that was their defense. No reasonable person would take that as fact. That was their defense. God. But I also love it how Fox News are talking about, talking about the mainstream media. And so, at what point are you going to realize that Fox News is mainstream?
Oh, and then there's also this. When it comes to Sky News, I do want to say that Sky News is owned by the same corporation that owns Fox News.
That may be true where you're at. Here, that's not quite true.
Okay, because I think they were talking specifically about Sky News Australia, because I'm pretty sure they're all. I'm pretty sure Sky News and I know that Sky News falls under the umbrella of News Corp.
So here in the UK, News Corp tried to buy up Sky News and Sky full stop, but that got kind of pressed down for antitrust laws. But they keep trying. That it occasionally pops up again where they're trying it. Yeah. And they're inching ever closer to being able to make the acquisition, but I don't think it has happened yet.
Yeah, I just hope that the Royal Commission in Australia goes well, because essentially they're launching a Royal Commission into media ownership, and because in Queensland all print media is owned by News Corp. Yeah.
You have the same here. You've got a few kind of companies that, pretty much run all the print media, run by News Corp, or kind of very similar kind of companies. I think there was, let's see, Alucard Icon. I don't know the exact pronunciation, but it was just saying it's hard to have news without it being opinionated. Humans just have opinions, terrible ones sometimes, but it happens. And I think that is a reality that we have to face. That there's no such thing as unbiased news, but I think those biases need to be made very clear. Need to be made very clear, and we have to realize, and it also has to be an ethical, an honest approach, because you can't expect unbiased news, but I think there's a reasonable expectation that there's news at least done in good faith.
Yeah, it shouldn't be one of these things where it's because you shouldn't run opinion on the headline. There's been because that's what's happened in. That's one of the points that has been brought up in the whole. In the whole Fox News Corp investigation, and they're like, why is opinion being run on the headline? And you, like Nurthen in the chat said, I don't know if you've seen Kevin Rudd's YouTube channel yet. Just go over and look at Kevin Rudd's YouTube channel here. He makes some really short videos that just succinct to the point and explaining what's going on with the Royal Commission. So yeah,
I'll keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, but and there's some like brilliant things that Rupert Murdoch has said that it's like that just shows how much of a boomer he is.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely hope that something gets done about the monopoly that News Corp essentially has on the print media, or on media in general.
Yeah, absolutely, and just it's just funny how they keep banging on about the mainstream media when, at the same time, you have Fox News saying, "Oh, we're the most watched cable network around."
Those
are mutually exclusive statements.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that's mainstream. If you're the most watched thing, you're mainstream by definition.
Yeah. Yeah.
One person says, I will say a news outlet shouldn't have dedicated sections of pure opinion. I think it should be more monotone, boring, factless. Yeah, I actually would agree that a news outlet probably shouldn't print opinion, right? I think that if they do have an opinion section, it should be everything should have like big bold letters opinion, so that people know that it is opinion rather than fact.
Yeah, but the issue is that opinion will always stream into coverage, and you can't just have a boring list of facts, because think about this in terms of the pandemic, right? We're talking about complex science. That, you know, if we were just to stick out a list of facts, general public would go, the fuck? What does that mean? What do I need to do? But also we have to recognize that, and this is very important, that news is not for information, it's entertainment. Most news outlets are entertainment outlets, not educational.
Yeah, it's basically one of them things where why do you think so many news outlets reported on the whole flat Earth phenomenon? Because it's entertainment, right? Why else would you report on the flat Earth phenomenon if it wasn't for entertainment? There'd also be other things that that they've reported on that, you know, I can definitely see it was for entertainment. I can't remember. Donald Trump. Like that, they were always reporting on Donald Trump because he would get clicks. That's what their primary goal is. It's to get clicks. And if they run boring things, then they're not going to get clicks.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, you need to attract people's attention, and you're going to need to entertain people because of that. Because at the end of the day, you need to bring in the advertising money. The other alternative is to have a publicly funded news service. But if you look at the BBC, which, you know, is probably as close to being impartial as possible, you get so much criticism from that. And actually, I think that the one true sign that a news outlet is as close to impartial as possible is when both sides of the political spectrum accuse them of being biased. Because you go into left-wing circles, they'll talk about how BBC are biased towards the Tories, and if you go into the right-wing circles, you know, BBC are just a bunch of leftists and blah-de-blah-de-blah.
Yeah.
And you know what? The BBC doesn't do very well in certain stories. It really doesn't. But you can't get opinion out of storytelling.
Yeah. One of the things that I had something to add to that, but I've forgotten what I was going to add. Independent journalism. Like, a lot of people praise independent journalism as like sometimes independent journalism can be good, but like Alex Jones is considered an independent journalist to some people. I feel like independent journalists generally aren't held to a high standard, right? Like, sometimes they can do well, but independent journalists, they aren't, you know, they don't get fired if they report something incorrectly.
Well, there is that accountability issue there with independent journalism, you know, and I think, yeah, you know, just with normal journalism, you have to treat it with an enormous amount of skepticism. There's some fantastic independent journalists out there.
Yeah.
Who are brilliant, but you know, if you look at Yeah, Alex Jones, I mean, I wouldn't call him a journalist. I don't think he would call himself a journalist. But if you look at people like Andy No, for example.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Who is well known for cutting out all the context.
Yeah.
You know, you have the example of, you know, he filmed some Antifa activists in Portland throwing a hammer into a bus of, I think it was Proud Boys or Patriot Prayer guys and something like that, and going, yeah, look at, you know, the evil things. But the bit that he managed to cut out and failed to show is where the people on the bus actually came out with that hammer in hand trying to bash someone's skull in. And it was a group of people who overpowered him, got the hammer out of his hands and disarmed him, and got everyone to safety and then threw it back.
Okay. Yeah. Like you... Yeah, independent journalism.
You know, so independent journalists, you have to be careful with it.
Yeah, like I remember when I remember when he got milkshaked, right? And then you had a lot of people saying that it was a cement milkshake, right? And that they had put cement in it or something. And they said, look at this. It says, look at what they were putting in the milkshake. It says, keep away from eyes or something. And it's like, yeah, that's milkshake powder. It says keep. I can't remember what exactly it said, but it's like, yeah, you don't want to get that in your eyes.
Yeah.
And then there was, and then it was like, hold on, how would you actually, like, if you were to try and make a milkshake with cement, it wouldn't harden.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're looking at independent journalists, you know, huge respect for people like Jake Hanrahan and Robert Evans, who have been out abroad, going to Syria and places, but they've also provided lots of coverage for Portland. But I think the important bit is that they will show edited content and stuff like that, but you can find the live streams because they will put those videos out and they'll put that content out, but they will also make the full captures available because the edited content will come out of the live streams which are available.
Yeah.
And I think there's a huge difference, and you do have to consider who's who and what these people are doing, what their motivations are.
Oh, so we just got a super chat. Hopefully the chatbot lady reads that out. But I will say thank you very much though to Sacha Campbell. I do have to ask: is it Sacha or Sasha?
Ball.
I'm very late, so I'll just throw money at you.
Thank you very much for throwing money at me, though. Like, because I'm pretty sure it's Sacha Campbell. Is that correct, or because I do need to read that out. So Sacha Campbell. I'm assuming that I got it correct. Or maybe it's either.
Yeah, that's a yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I think it's actually a good time to end up around about here, because I don't have anything else except for to keep on reloading this. We've nearly got 50 votes. Oh, we've got 50 votes now, so the results are in, and Donald Duck is president. Thank you for letting me know, guys. Oh, and Robo Bernie fell behind Joe Biden. Oh, I liked Robo Bernie.
Oh, poor Robo Bernie. He's always behind the mainstream Democrat.
Yeah. I get money. It's not that I'm running because I get money thrown at me. It's just I have nothing else to talk about. We've been talking about news for the last It's going to be a meme now, isn't it? I get $20 and I run away with the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, part of this stream will be turned into a video. The part at the beginning, I'll probably put that out tomorrow because I wanted to correct or to put out, basically correct some misinformation that's going out there. So yeah. Anyway, leave a like and subscribe if you liked that stream. Leave a comment letting me know what you'd like me to cover in future streams. So basically Rush of Stupid is every 2 weeks. I always have trouble working out what I'm going to do in the weeks in between. So even though they tend to be the longest streams because I'm usually talking with someone and, I'll come up with ideas.
Yeah, Jesus, you've had some long streams, especially with Jason.
Yes. But anyway, I will see you in the next stream. Between you and me, thank you for watching.